Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be a beautiful Kolam pattern terracotta set. So if you see, I've already got a head start, made a square pendant. I've also made a small round one. So this particular pendant measures 4.5 by 4.5. The slab thickness is 0.6 centimeters. And this is again 0.6 centimeters in thickness, and using a small square shaped cookie cutter, I'll basically be cutting out a pair. Now this is all for the pendants, so all of the thickness basically that I'm maintaining for the pendant is 0.6 centimeters. All of this are going to be attached to the pendant itself. The round one, the square ones, everything. This one is for the earrings. It's 0.25 or 0.3 centimeters in thickness. I smoothen this and cut out 4 such pieces using the square shaped cookie cutter. Smoothen each of them, attach them, and this is basically for the earrings. It's a very easy one and very light. So by the way, this is basically being made for an acquaintance who shared the sari color and the specifications of how she wanted this particular set. So that's why I'm sticking to this design. I'm again smoothing everything that goes on to the pendant as well. I'll be attaching all of these. The Nichrome wire U-pins that I use for the pendant is gauge 24, and for the earrings it's gauge 26. I attach a couple of ghungroo beads. I draw out a margin for this square pendant. I deepen the lines using my fettling knife. Once again, the U-pin, the Nichrome wire U-pins over here are gauge 24. Attach each of these elements at the base. And that's it. It's a very easy pendant, very easy earring. I let this dry. Once it's completely dried, it's fired in an electric kiln. And once it's fired, we can obviously paint upon this. So if you see, I've laid out everything that is required, the paints, the brushes, in fact the drawing that needs to go on it. So the colors are antique gold, peacock, pearl, rouge and blue. Now I told you that this was basically for a particular sari color, which basically had predominantly blue, a peacock blue, and then that purple, which I'm going to be making with rouge mixed with antique gold. And this is the design roughly, if just to show you, because I generally tend to work on a piece like this and I get the person's approval, and only then do I actually go ahead and make this particular piece. So this is how the piece is going to be, and it's a very, very rough drawing. So yeah. So if you see, I've already laid out the colors in my palette, and this is the manner in which I'm going to mix it. Now, like I said, this sari probably looked like it was a silk one, so which is why it had that bit of a sheen. It was a beautiful color combination, and which is why I decided to add a little bit of gold. And obviously the peacock blue, I'm deriving at that color, by mixing the dark blue and the metallic, or rather the peacock pearl. Firstly, I begin by painting the the Rudraksh beads in the terracotta textured Rudraksh beads in blue, and the smaller 5 mm beads are going to be painted in the purple. Now, I'm using my hands to do this. So, but if you are allergic, please don't just go use a brush, individually paint them. I think that might be better. This just quickens the work for me and also gives it a very neat and an even coat. So if you see, it's all completely even and neatly done. It's a lovely color. I'm not sure if the camera is able to actually grasp that, but it's a beautiful color. In fact, it's something that I don't use very often, and I somehow feel like maybe I should. Quite nice actually. So I'm just trying to stay within the lines of the pendant over here, because on the borders I intend to add the blue. There's not a hint of black anywhere on this particular sari, so which is why I decided not to add black anywhere. There's just the purple, the blue, and the gold, obviously, and then there's going to be a little bit of the hint of the green, which I'm not going to include in the pendant. I'm just going to include in the tassel part, that's all, very lightly. Now this is the drawing that I want, and what I'm doing here is not tracing out the entire design. I just need the reference for the dots, because this is something which I'm not used to. So I find a column drawing very difficult, but I'm pretty sure for people who do this on a regular basis, this is going to be a cakewalk. So I don't know if you can actually see it, but each of the dots are visible to me, so which is why, going by that reference, I'm able to make the gold dots using my liner brush. So now that I have my dots all aligned and neatly done, well, now it's time to see me struggle a little bit because like I said, this is not going to be easy. So I go on very slowly. I have actually increased the speed over here, but you can imagine how slow I was going when I was actually painting this. I'm trying to be very just going by a very light coat initially, and once I'm confirmed that okay, the design looks all right, I would just go on with another coat of gold paint and paint the rest. I'm just trying to figure out the design. I must have drawn this particular design like a bunch of times on a sheet of paper, because once you do it on terracotta, it's very difficult to really wipe it off. But I was pretty happy with the way this had turned out. The reason I also chose to do a rangoli design, or rather a kolam design on this particular pendant, is because the sari had kolam designs all over. It was a beautiful sari, and I think this pendant, rather this entire set, would go beautifully, like match made in heaven kinds. So yeah, I'm just I'm going on with my with the back of my brush to add a few more designs in gold. This piece particularly took me a very long time because each of this is hand drawn. It did take a long time, but I'm sure if you are somebody who does kolam patterns, this would be very easy for you. So now that you see the paint is completely dried, it's time to varnish. This is the product I use. Give it a good shake and transfer a little bit of the contents into a bowl or a container. And using a broad bristle brush, I paint a generous coat. I did about 3 to 4 coats, and I on the surface part especially, because I wanted a very neat finish. So I let each coat dry and only then went on to the next coat. I have varnished even the beads over here. So now that everything is dried, it's time to assemble. So if you see, the dory has a little bit of the green in the in the tassel part. The rest of the materials are the same. This is the crimp bead. What I showed you earlier was the crimp cover. These are gold metal beads. I have a gear wire, I have my pliers, and I have a pair of stud posts here. So basic set of materials. So what I do here is typically begin by putting the crimp bead through the gear wire, and then put it through the hook, and then fold it through and crimp it, and then cover the crimp bead with the help of a crimp cover. You've seen me do this multiple times, so I don't want to elaborate on that much. So this is the manner in which I assemble the beads. Typically, how I begin is how I end. So yeah, I still go through the same process. I'm using a total of 4 crimp covers over here. So this is the product I use for the studs. I let this dry for about 3 full days and only then begin use. So this is it. The set is completely ready, and I am very happy. I'm very happy with the way this has actually turned out. It's it's something which is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I'm glad it turned out well, and I really hope she likes it as well. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Really hope you all liked it. Do let me know what you think of the video in the comment section, and as always, I'll get back to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for watching.